Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. My name is Andrew Townsend. I am the Campaign Marketing Manager here with eLearning Brothers. Today's session is going to be about how to use ReviewLink to track feedback inside of your course development. This is a really cool tool that is a part of something that comes with Lectora. So we're really excited to talk about it, and we hope that you guys get out of it what you are hoping to get out of it. This session will be recorded, so if you need it afterwards, we will be emailing it out to everybody who registered, so you'll have that at your fingertips probably later today. If you have questions or comments during the webinar, please do use that questions panel as a part of your GoToWebinar control panel there, and we'll get to as many of your questions as we can. If there is a question that we can't answer, we will try to take that offline and get the answer for you either way. All right, so we have a fantastic guest with us today. We've got Cheryl Coggins, the Manager of Customer Solutions here with eLearning Brothers. So thanks for joining us, Cheryl. We're excited to hear what you have to say. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass the screen over to you and the time over to you as well, Cheryl.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to jump right to it. I think everybody can see my screen.
Yep, looks great.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And we just get that out of the way. Okay. I think I made a mistake. Are we back on my screen, Andrew?
I am seeing ReviewLink.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, so if anyone hasn't seen it yet, this is the basic view of ReviewLink. And when you have logged in as a publisher, this is basically your screen where you're going to see. You see I have some content here. And everyone who starts with Lectora, they're first published to ReviewLink, they'll get their credentials and they will have this getting started with ReviewLink sample title. Now, saying all that, I'm going to actually take you through and show you how to get to this point. So again, if you're not familiar with ReviewLink, we're just going to kind of start from the beginning. So here I am in Lectora Online, and we're going to just open up one of our courses that we have. I used our Playfair template, which, by the way, if you haven't played with the templates yet, there are several that are just kind of available to you right there when you log in. And then, of course, on the asset library, you can pick from a ton other ones. So here we are in this sample title, and you can see we have all of our pages all nicely done up. So what I've done is I'm going to publish this to ReviewLink. So you'll come to either this menu item up here at the top, or we're going to go to this menu here on the Home tab, and we're going to select to publish to ReviewLink. So let me just do that here. Great. So here in the ReviewLink tab, to see our publish options. Now in this case, I've already published this content, but if it had been the first time, you would not see this update existing content option. You would have just had the option to add reviewers. You do not have to add reviewers at this point. Perhaps you don't know them yet, or you want to just try it out yourself the first time, so you can skip this. If you do want to put them in, just put their email addresses and separate by a comma. You can also add a comments due time. And now this is a really nice feature where you could have a deadline, basically, where once they've passed that date, they're no longer able to comment on the content. And then account settings. If this is your first time in, you're probably going to get prompted where you need to come in and enter your email address and a password. And I'm going to simulate that just real quick so that you can see what that would be like. Actually, I'm going to take that back. If anyone has questions about that, I'd be happy to walk through that later. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish our publish to ReviewLink. Say OK. It's going to go through the same publish options, same as it does when you're publishing to SCORM or any other format. And then once the publish is done, there's going to be a button where you'll click to do the upload to ReviewLink. So almost there. See here, upload title. You'll want to press that to make sure that it gets over to ReviewLink. So it's going to do the process to upload. And we're done. Now here, it gives us a couple options. You can click here to log into ReviewLink if you hadn't already been there, but I'm already logged in, so I'm not going to click that. And here you can also have a QR code where that didn't display on mine for right now. That's because I've got the other screen up, but you'll be able to click it, and then you can use the camera on your mobile device to use the QR code to launch the mobile view from there as well. So now I'm in ReviewLink, and I'm just going to refresh the screen. And here we can see is my Playfair course starter from Lectora Online. This is version 2 because I just published it again. You can see the timestamp on it. And over here, I just need to move this dialog out of my way. Over here, you can launch content. So this is the interface that you're going to see when you are in ReviewLink as a publisher. It's going to be your content here. There's a delete button, which will in fact delete the content from ReviewLink. You can set whether you want to open or close for comments and set a due date here as well as at the publish time. And you can also select reviewers. And this is the dialog to invite reviewers. If you had invited anyone already, they would be displayed here. And you can see that there are a couple options. One is to notify reviewers when content is updated. Now this one will cause an email to be sent to your reviewers anytime you make a fresh publish of any title to ReviewLink. And when you've marked the notify users on update. So that was in a publish option, and we can go back and show that again. And then this one is also really important. Sometimes you don't want your reviewers to know what each other are saying about the product, or about your course. So here you can select this, and then reviewers will not be able to see each other's comments. Over here on invite reviewers, I have a few people already here. I can just check mark them and say send invitation, and that will invite that reviewer to this particular piece of content. They don't get to see everything I've published, just this particular one that I'm inviting them to. I can also still enter new email addresses here as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and select a few people here and send invitations. And that's it. That's all. They're all invited. Now, for those who haven't seen it, we're going to click on the launch content. We're going to take a look around here. So this is what your reviewers are going to see when they come in. Expand this window a bit. See, I have a overlap. Let me move this. Okay. So here's your page, and you're going to follow the navigation for it. It depends how big your content is and how it's been designed. Let's say I have a mobile view. I'm going to switch to the mobile phone view. And that's how this one was designed to look in here with the full screen. You can also re-click here. This is going to switch it to the landscape view. This feature devices. You can also switch it back to desktop, and you can create your own custom size. So let's say you wanted to keep your resolution down to something much smaller. Let's do 500 and by 300, and see, you can just see how that's going to look on those views. You can also select some of the other ones that we've already designed for you in particular and go from there. Now the best part, let me get out of this view, back to desktop view. The best part about this tool here is our markup feature. And this is here where you call it draw. If you click on draw, you're going to be given these tools down here where you can mark up in different ways. And of course we have an undo and a redo. If I pick an arrow, I can pick the size, I can pick a color, oops, sorry. I can make a mark like this, and then maybe I want to make a statement or do something with a pencil as well. I could manually draw it, but then while I'm still here. So I can save and submit. So now we see we got a page markup entry here on the comments on this page, but I didn't say anything. So I'm in here right now as a publisher, so I'll show you how to do this with a new comment. And this is going to be, please change this center graphic. And I can add more details here if I want. And I could even add an attachment if I wanted. So let's see if I have something quick to choose, just some file. And just going to go grab an image. And pick something crazy like that. Say save. And it's going to upload. It's right here. And then I'm going to submit comment. So now for this page, we have both the markup and the art that and the comment and the art that I gave. So let's go take a look at what that means. First of all, while we're here, we can see now that we have 2 comments total on this title and 2 comments on this particular page. When we go to another page, make another comment, you'll see those numbers increase. So let's just quit that. And let me go over to comments. And I'm going to just say all. Now over here, I'm kind of making a segue for you a little bit. We're now in the comments tab. Now this comments tab is available to your reviewers as well as publishers. And it allows the reviewers to see the comments that they've made and or comments of their peers if that option was left for them to see their peers' comments. Reduce this. You can see this control opens and closes and allows you to get to more detail on any one of these comments. And you can see I've got a lot of different things that we've done here over the years. So let me just pick this particular comment, and you can see the list of your published content right here. You can select it. And now you can see that I have these 2 comments displayed here. I can see when they were done, what view they were written in. So if I go back in a minute, we can do a comment, say in one of the mobile views, and it would say that it was in one of the mobile views here. So if I pick one of these, highlight one of these, open this up. So now you can see the specific details, and I can even see that we have the picture here. So if I click on this, it's going to open my drawing that I had done and attached earlier. So you can see exactly what they're talking about, and you can leave that open as well. You can also select.
Cheryl, you're probably going to answer this later, but the question has come up. As you're making these comments, are people being notified outside of the tool, or do you kind of need to log into ReviewLink to see these feedback?
So you will not get notified real time during a comment. Let's say someone was making 100 comments through your course. You wouldn't want 100 notifications.
Sure,
so,
sure.
Yeah. So, but you will get notified that comments have been made. There's in fact, let's hop to that. Notifications under account settings. We have notifications. Now you can ask it to submit when they make a comment. I was wrong there, but I would actually suggest that you pick an activity report instead of on every instance. So you could have it once a day that they send you a list of all the comments made or the comments were made for that day.
Excellent. So if you're actively working inside of it and you're seeing these comments come in, you don't need to worry about that. But if you submit it and you're just waiting for it to be reviewed, you could set that to, send me something once they start reviewing something once a day, so I know when they're in it.
Right.
I think that answers the question. Thank you.
Sure, but this is the thing, right? You can select how you want it, and you based on the check mark above for how you want that set. So either one of those or any of those options. And then additionally, if you're a reviewer, you can ask, independently of what the publisher may set, as a reviewer, you can say, send me an email when someone responds to my comments or when the content is open or closed for comments. And then again, you can select your interval for when you want that notification. Thank you, Andrea. That was a good question. So back here on the comments page, so we've seen these comments, we've got this markup page. We can also click View and Content, which is going to load the page where the comment was made. And well, I did something. Let me go to the other comment. This is because this was the markup one. Here we go. There we go. So this is how it works. It'll load up the page where the comment was made as it relates to that. All right, so then just want to show you that you can respond to the comments as well. You can say, okay, I made the change. Now this is the interaction between the reviewer and the viewer, publisher, where I'm responding right now as a publisher. I made the change. And if I wanted to, I could also make a change of priority. So I can look at things that are at different levels of priority. I can also change the status to say, I need more info, or I fixed it. I could even say that no change, like I'm not going to make a change. I'm going to mark it this way, and I'm going to click Submit Response. So over here, you can see I've changed the status to fixed, and those things are updated. Now, if I were the reviewer, I could come in, let's see, that was my own comment, so that's not actually going to be a good example. I need to show you a comment made by a reviewer. Let's see. I wanted to remind everybody about what I had mentioned at the beginning about this getting started with ReviewLink. Any new user to ReviewLink will have this sample title in here. And let's just open this up real quick. This is, again, another great walkthrough. If you haven't looked at it, it's a great way to kind of go over some of the things that I mentioned today, as well as there's some other items in here. It's a good tool to practice with. So here I have a comment that was on this page. You can see we went through some interaction. This is the original at the bottom and the most recent at the top. Right. Okay, so one of the items here, let me just, all right, so we've gone over the course. We have the basic interaction that we've just shown. But now what do you do with the reviewers? I wanted to get back to that where we showed just the one interface for inviting reviewers and how you might select them in current reviewers. When you're in the My Reviewers tab, this is where you can kind of control who has access to your content, who's on your list for potential sharing with. But one thing to know about your reviewers, they own their own account, which means once you've invited them into the ReviewLink platform, they now have the ability to manage their own password and to change that password and to log in or not, those kinds of things. You actually can't delete them from the ReviewLink system. If you invite them to a content, and let's say they were a reviewer a year ago and they don't remember their password, when you invite them to view content, they're going to get an email saying that they've been invited to to review this content, but they're not going to be seeing their credentials, and they may be a little thrown. So hopefully, as reviewers become more familiar with this platform, they'll remember that they have their own password, and if they don't know it, they're able to submit a forgot password option. And that's actually, let's open a different browser, and I can show you that real quick too. Dismiss that. And right here, just forgot your password. So I'm just going to throw in a, let's see here. All right. Nobody emailed me. Okay, so it says that an email has been sent if you in fact had a further actual account, and you would be able to do the email to reset password. So again, here in reviewers, there's a lot of things you can do in the reviewers. There's grouping. Let's say you have a group of people that you have, your first general reviewers. Maybe these are your subject matter expert, and maybe a peer that you like to have review your work. You could have them set up as a group, so you could quickly just assign first level review to a group. So you could just pick a couple people and then add to group and create, either select an existing group or create a new group. So let's just do first review. This just saves you a little time, so the next time you want to go in and add somebody to the group, you can do it that way. Or I'm sorry, add someone to a piece of content, and you can just select the group that way. But I can have those same people be in another group too. Let's say I want a group named Final Checkoff. Same sort of thing. I can just select the content to be reviewed in the Final Checkoff. Again, this is the ability over time, while you're doing your course progression, you'd be able to get to the point where we have different levels of review through the process. You can also do import and export. Let's say you have a lot of people involved. You can actually use a CSV file, like a standard Excel spreadsheet, and just enter the names, email, and a group if you want to automatically assign them to a group, and import that at any time. This is really handy for large projects. Well, anytime that this might have multiple people, that keeping the emails straight is benefited. You can also export that at any time. So let's say you want to remove or clean up some reviewers, but you don't want to lose everyone who's been a reviewer in the past. You'll be able to do the same thing with an export. It's going to automatically download a CSV file, which you can then use in Excel or any other spreadsheet application. So here I can just select to show reviewers or groups. So I can just quickly see both things. Now the reason why that's really helpful, let's say I've got this other piece of content here. My groups are listed here. So I don't have to go and look through all my list of names and pick them. I can just quickly come over here and say, I just want the Final Checkoff people, send them their invitations, all done. Here we go. So you saw that I have here a Lectora desktop version of this title as well. And it's the same interface working from Lectora desktop as it is from Lectora online. You're going to select to publish to ReviewLink either from this particular publish menu or from the home menu and publish to ReviewLink. It's going to follow the same basic process with your options. And in this case, once you've published, you're going to be able to select whether or not you want to update the status of new comments that were new or not okay to fixed. The not okay option, it's probably worth another webinar to go over some of these other nuances, but a reviewer, if you recall, had all those options where they could say, basically disagree with you on their review, right? So let's say you marked a comment fixed, they can come back and say it's okay, not okay, or make some other comment. And here you can automatically mark all things that you just updated to be marked as fixed, which will cause the reviewer to go and take a look and see what they need to do. You can also mark here that you want your reviewers notified. Now remember, this is your selection as a publisher to notify the reviewer. The reviewer still has control whether they get the notifications or not on their end, whether they want them in that scheduled intervals, the daily, or on occurrence, on each occurrence. Again, you can still enter additional people just like before. All right, so this takes us through the basics of ReviewLink. I wanted to go back to comments and talk a little bit about comments. So you saw here that I have, let me start here. You see here that I have all these courses. There's many, and since it's unlimited, you could end up with lots of courses here. And if you're a reviewer that does a lot of work for other people, you too will have this long list of content here. But perhaps you don't want to see this long list, or it's just too much. You can select to sort by items that you were the publisher from, items that are still actually open for comments, or of course things that are closed for comments. I'm going to leave that open. But now I want to talk about status. So this is where we go into talking about managing your ReviewLink courses. Here is the basic settings. Everything that's active, everything period that you've ever published, anything that needs attention, which means it still has a comment that hasn't been answered. And then you can select specifically each of these options. So let's say I want to see everything that's been marked fixed. This may take a minute. There's probably quite a few of those. And mind you, this is for all content. So you can see there's a number of items. But if I want to, again, come down here and select, I just want to see what's fixed for this particular project. And here's my one item that I marked fixed. So that is one great way to sort through the different things that you have. If I go back to all.
A question has come up, and I don't know if you want to address this later or down the road, but as Lectora Online and Lectora Desktop are different, in Lectora Online, users may already be collaborating on projects. Is ReviewLink still helpful for online users?
Oh, absolutely, because this is a potentially a different audience. So ReviewLink gives you the experience as though it's hosted on a website. So you're not just using the run mode or browse mode from within the product. So let's say when you talk about collaborators, in Lectora Online, you're talking about authors, multiple authors who are all working on the same product at the same time, which is a fantastic feature, by the way. If you're not familiar with that, highly recommend it. So they're working in the kind of the build environment. They're not getting the full experience of how it looks published and on a hosted site.
User end,
so,
sure.
Right. So ReviewLink gives you that environment, as well as being able to switch between the mobile views and that sort of thing in a runtime environment. Now, the comments made here can also go beyond your authors. So you could have unlimited reviewers, and so you may very well have SMEs, subject matter experts, for example, who aren't authors of using Lectora Online, and they can come in and they can see the final product or the in-process product and make comments back on what they, whatever they don't or do like. So there's definitely lots of people that use this tool from Lectora Online outside of the authoring environment. Did that explain that, Andrew, you think?
Yeah, I think that answers that question great. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, so as far as the comments go, again, we have all these other different views. If you've been using priorities for your comments, you can select what priority you want to see. You can also narrow the views by what view the comments were made in. So if I had gone back, I think I have a good sample here of different views. We'll see if I'm right. And I'm going to pick, I don't know, phone landscape. I don't have anything marked in that one. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't pre-populate on some of these different views for this demo. I apologize. But you can understand that the filter here gives you the ability to mark based on the view that is listed here. All right. So the next part of this is, what do you do next with your content? So the comments, if you ever are on the published content and you're going to delete a content item, you're done reviewing, it's been signed off, it's good to go. Before you delete this, you'll want to download the comments, or you might want to download the comments. Once it's deleted, the comments are gone too. So what you'll do is, over here in the comments, you can either pick it for everything, or you can pick the particular content item that you're interested in. So again, we'll just grab one, and we've only got the 2 comments. You can export the comments as a CSV file, and it offers you the ability to include all the associated attachments. So these attachments are going to be the images that anybody had uploaded, a document, the markup drawings that you had done. These are going to be included on the download. And then under PDF, same concept. It's going to download a PDF of your comments. So here in this case, this is what it looks like. Here's the summary of the comments. Here's the full detail of each comment, and then the tally at the end. Notice this one, of course, doesn't bring down the art in the PDF. Just close that. All right, so once you've downloaded your comments and you're happy with the results and you don't have anything further to do, you are able to go back to your published content and delete it. So I have one here I just want to show you. I'm just going to delete this. Delete. Oops. Now it does give you a confirmation dialog with the statement about the comments. So hopefully, you read that and you don't forget to download any comments that you wanted. I'm just going to say no here. Keep that handy. So I'm just going to launch this again. And I just want to go over this review cycle. Again, we talked about these ways we add reviewers. My content to review. That was a good one to remember. I'm sorry I skipped that. So as a reviewer or a publisher, you will each have this My Content to Review tab. Reviewers will only have My Content to Review and comments. My Content to Review is going to be a list of all the courses or content items that you've been assigned to look at. It has the same basic concepts with the total comments that you're allowed to see. So let's say you're not allowed to see other people's comments. You will only see a tally here of the comments that are yours. You'll have the launch button for reviewing content. But down here, it's going to be a little different. Here, you'll get to see who the publisher is. You'll see the status, whether it's open for comments and if there's a due date. And then you have the ability to send the publisher a notification that you're actually done reviewing. If I press that as a reviewer, I can make a message as well. So here's the email address. And then you can say, there's the default, but you can add what you want. Same thing, we're going to do a review content, which is the launching. And these are the same tools that we already reviewed for how you would review a content item. So most reviewers, again, are only going to see my content to review with this list of content items and comments. Here they can select to sort by different time frames, whether it's open or closed for review, that sort of thing, by name, due date. Just none with due dates, so it should take the default. And then most recent activity. And of course, recent activity, again, is the dates that they were published and the versions of the product, of the publish. So every time you or a publisher publishes a content item, updates a content item as a publish, the version number is going to increment along with the timestamp. So we have actually covered, I believe, all features of ReviewLink. This ability to share content and to make comments and click through the different pages and see what people need or remark on is the key to this product. And when it's done, you're able to sign off and consider it a sign off. There's no official mark off here in ReviewLink. It would be a determination that all items have been met to the satisfaction of the key players in your product development cycle. I'm just going to open this great title again. Again, I highly recommend reviewing this just because it does cover ReviewLink very nicely.
There are a couple more questions. One in particular that I think would be best answered here. When we add our reviewers and we send that notification out to them, what sort of account does a reviewer have to have? Does everybody have to have a ReviewLink account? Does everybody need to have a subscription to Lectora? Who can use ReviewLink? What are those requirements?
Thank you. I'm sorry. Let's do that. So let me just grab here. I'm going to add a reviewer, and we'll show you what it looks like. A reviewer does not need to have any credentials, previous credentials, or licenses or authority to use ReviewLink. They will be given an account upon invitation, and then it's up to them to manage that account themselves. But again, it's free to the reviewer. So you probably all have seen the nifty little way you can add numbers. So I'm just going to add a like this. I'm going to send an invitation. This person doesn't exist previously. I just wanted to show you. Here it comes.
There it is.
All right, great. So here's the welcome email that your reviewer will receive, and it will tell you them that who has requested their review, what the name is, if there's any comments due. And since this is my first time here as this user, I've actually been given credentials, temporary credentials. My email address that I entered will always be my user ID, but I'll be given a temporary password. And when I go to log in, I'm going to use this temporary password to get there. So I am actually going to go to new browser. I'm going to enter in, and this will be great to show you actually. So you can see, as a first-time user in here, I'm just going to have to accept this. This is not a charge item. It's just accepting terms and conditions. And then I'll be forced to change my password.
So they're not necessarily purchasing anything. They are subscribing. They have to set up an account so that we know where the comments are coming from, right? But they're not being asked to purchase anything.
That is correct. It's completely free, and you are allowed to have as many reviewers as you like, and the reviewers do not incur a cost.
Fantastic.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to remark that you can see now, since I am in as a reviewer, you can see here the reviewer interface, where they only have the 2 tabs, which is my content to review, and then once they've made a comment, their comments will be visible here, and they'll be able to remark whether they want all comments or just the ones that they wrote. And again, if the publisher had disabled the ability for reviewers to see each other's comments, they would only see their own comments on that course item anyway.
Fantastic. Another question is there a limit to the number of titles that can be uploaded to ReviewLink while you're showing us this one?
There is not. In fact, actually, that's an improvement or a change that's been made with the new Gold and Platinum Suite projects. You have unlimited titles that you can publish to ReviewLink. That's right.
Talk to us about the Silver Suite then. Because there's Silver, Gold, and Platinum are the different suites. So that's unlimited for Gold and Platinum.
So you got me on this one. I feel like
Sure.
the answer is that on Silver, it's 10 content items for the Silver package.
Okay.
But the Gold and Platinum are certainly unlimited. So, and I'm pretty sure it's 10 on the Silver.
Okay.
Obviously, your account manager can assist you with any of that. And I think the details are also on the website for those particular things. So I've added a comment here as a reviewer, and so now I can see my comment here as well.
Oh, you can sort. Okay, that's great. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so the reviewer has just about all the same statuses. They can see whether there's things here that have a particular status. If they have multiple content items that they're assigned to, they can select that in there. They can see just their comments or others, depending on what the publisher had allowed. And then they can also still do it by priorities and the kind of views that they may have uploaded or commented on. So it's very powerful. You know, the key here is that a reviewer and the publisher can interact on a page-by-page basis. That they can make remarks on a particular on any item visible on the page or not, and they can add attachments. They can do the drawing where they can add the markup and have those items all visible to keep people that are in the review process. And then finally, they're able, yep. And finally, they're able to download those comments as a whole to keep for archival purposes. And then when they're done, they're able to remove the content or leave it there. It really is okay either way.
Excellent. Well, we don't have any other questions here. Anything else that you'd like to share with us before I take the screen back, Cheryl?
No, I think that really covers it. But just as a reminder, the new knowledge base is open, and there are lots of information about ReviewLink. I also encourage the users to join our community and to work with other users there in the community. There's lots of great information, And of course, you're always welcome to submit a support case to email support@elearningbrothers.com, and we'll be happy to help you where we can.
Yes, that reminds me, there was one other thing we were going to share. Let me put these in. So in the chat section of GoToWebinar, we will include some tips for ReviewLink. So we have this document. It's called an unboxing document is what we've titled it. So I'll paste it in here into the chat. Looks like there's other things in the chat as well. That unboxing document includes a lot of what was talked about today. So if you just need a quick reference you can grab that in that unboxing document. And then yes, we have a link to the knowledge base there. More specifically, if you're looking for ReviewLink, I'll post another link there in the chat that goes just to the knowledge base section. That's about knowledge link. So please do access that as you need to. We want you to be successful. We want you to become e-learning rock stars in these tools. And so, we want to make sure that you have access to all of the things that you need to do that. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Thanks everybody for visiting us. This has been very, very useful, and we will get a recording out to everybody who registered, like I said. And we hope to see you guys next time. See you later.
Thank you.